That's 816-251-3555. Get in tune with the sun, moon, and stars. This is Astrology with Yasmin.
Hey everybody, it's Yasmin here. How are you doing on this rather dull and grey Monday afternoon? But you know what they say, never judge a day by the weather. I'm well, my family's well, the builders are next door, plumbing things. What more could I ask for? So welcome to another episode of the show, which I do every single week at this time, which is 4 p.m. UK time. I believe that's 8 a.m. LA, 11 a.m. New York or Eastern. And what we're going to talk about this week is the fact that we are still very much in the waxing cycle. We've just had the eclipse. And now it's time to make the most of it. So how are you doing with everything? How are you feeling? I thought what I might do is I might start off today by picking a card, okay? So whether you're listening to this on Unity Online Radio, or you're listening to it on my podcast, or you're listening to it, there's a card there that wants to come, isn't it? Or you're watching it on Facebook, just say silently or out loud if this card is for you. Is this card for you? That's what I need to know. We just had the new moon eclipse, so we are in what you might call primo manifesting territory. So are you ready? How are you doing with your manifesting? I'm going to be talking about manifesting and the eclipse and the new moon and all that. Okay, so here's a message for all of us. We got the clear your mind card. Clear your mind. Now, clear your mind, you know what that means? It means we need to do a quick chant, because that will clear our mind and our body and our spirit and our chakras. So I'm going to take that as a sign to do a quick chakra clearing chant. Okay, so here we go. Hari Om Nam Lam Mam Vam Sim Ram Vam Yam Yam Ham Shiva Om Swaha. And I was having an interesting conversation earlier today with a very cosmic friend of mine, Laura Day, and we were talking about my new cards, my beautiful manifestation cards, which are so gorgeous. And Laura was talking to me about how we can use them for chakra readings. And she explained a method to me that I thought sounded good, but I'm going to do a really simplified version. Just one second. Actually, I wonder if I can bring Laura onto my show. She's always bringing me onto her show on Instagram. Maybe I could bring her onto mine. What I want to do is I want to do a card now for, I will talk about the astrology in a minute, but I just want to do a card now for anyone who has a love question, okay? So if you have a love question, then please, metaphorically raise your hand, or say, I've got a love question, say it out loud, or write it in the comments, yes, I have a love question, something like that. Okay, do that. And I'm going to pick a love card. Oh, it's this one for sure. So if you have a love question, this card is for you. I've got people on Facebook who are putting the little hand up. That's great. If you're listening on Unity Online Radio or on the podcast, then just say out loud, I've got a love question. This card is for me. All right. I've got a love question. This card is for me. What does it say? Oh, goodness. This card keeps coming up and up and up and up. It's the detoxify card. the Detoxify card. It keeps coming up every time. It's actually the full moon in Taurus card, which we actually had quite recently. We had the full moon in Taurus. I should know it off by heart, but I don't yet. All right, are you ready? So this is what you need to do to your love life. You need a detox to restore equilibrium to your situation. Perhaps you've been obsessing or you've fallen into a negative headspace. Whatever the case, you need to release any dramas, possessiveness, and stubbornness to free up everything. Digging your heels in won't help, and neither will allowing yourself to be mean. It could be a spiritual, emotional, or physical detox that's called for. Manifesting balance. Find a balance between what your heart wants and what is the practical next step. All right. Your challenge now is to balance yourself emotionally. This may not be easy, but it'll boost your manifesting ability far more than if you're over emotional and therefore out of alignment. And we are to call in Hatha, the goddess of love. So let's just call in Hatha now. Hatha, the goddess of love, thank you for coming into our lives, to helping us to find equilibrium in all our most important relationships. So I don't know about you, I'm actually feeling pretty good today, but I've been a little bit like, oh, I think it's because I had all the dramas with the builders and all that, and COVID and, you know, all the ongoing upsets and fear. And I was reading the other day about how, you know, people are exhausted. And the reason is because so many people have been living in fear for so long now. Now, you might be one of these lucky people who just think, oh, it's just nonsense. You know, I don't believe in the pandemic, whatever. Lucky you if that's the case. I think you're lucky. I know people who are unvaccinated and don't believe in the pandemic, and different ends of the spectrum. Some are like completely down the QAnon rabbit hole. Some are just, you know, pretty stable, centered, successful people who just like, nah, I believe in the pandemic. I don't want to get vaccinated. Like, I know all sorts of people from different walks of life, and we can't judge each other about how we feel about this stuff. But there is no doubt that there is a large section of the community that has been living in fear for quite a long time because of the pandemic. And, you know, I think that's one of the reasons why this Detoxify card keeps coming up. Here it is there. I think it's one of the reasons why it keeps coming up is because we need to detoxify from the fear that's been caused by the last few years of, you know, you're never sure what's going to happen, and you're too scared to see your grandparents because you might give them a hug and you might end up killing them, and who knows what's going to happen, and blah, and the vaccination is it going to save us or is it not? What's going to happen with this Omicron and all this, you know? I mean, for my 2 cents, I have said it everywhere else, so I might as well say it here as well. Don't think I've said it here yet. I believe that Omicron, please God, touch wood, they're saying it's milder. Okay, they're saying it's milder but more infectious, and that it can overtake Delta as the dominant virus, but be mild and just people get really sleepy and get muscle aches. So it could be the beginning of the end of the pandemic. I am crossing all my fingers and toes because the astrology for 2022 is really, really nice. So I'm hoping that means we're all going to be having a really nice life next year and back to normal. Not even a new normal, hopefully just an old normal, dry cleaned, as we used to say in, well, we used to say that in Hobart. I don't know if we said that, if everyone in Australia said it, we say, yeah, it's no different. It's just like the old normal, but dry cleaned. That's what we used to say. But anyway, there you go. All right, so let us take a look at the astrology for the week ahead. I'd also like to say, if you want to call in, I would love to take your call, 816-251-3555, 816-251-3555. Unless you are a close personal friend of mine or we work together, this is about the only way to get a reading. I don't really do readings willy-nilly because I just don't. I do them here. So Yeah, so if you want a reading, this is the place to get it. We actually have some people on the line as well already. So maybe I'll bring someone on and then we'll get to the astrology for the week ahead in a minute. So let's go to Donna on line 1. Are you there, Donna? Come on in.
Hi, good morning, Yasmin.
Good morning. Where are you, Donna?
I'm in California.
Oh, where are you in California?
The Bay Area.
The Bay Area. So is that more or less San Francisco way?
Yes.
Nice. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do your chart here, Donna, while you tell us what is on your mind. You tell me while I
had a very strong urge. I set my alarm. I usually listen to the replays, but I thought I should call and talk today. And actually, the first part perhaps was my main question, the detox card. Because after 37 years of marriage, it just doesn't feel like it fits anymore.
Oh, no.
But then you went on to say also, and I have to be reminded about the fear we've been living with. I did not have a lockdown. I'm a senior caregiver, so I worked more during COVID and realized just this week that I still carry it heavy in my heart. And so I'm sure that's affecting the marriage aspect. And my health also has been a bit off. Listening to one of the replays recently, I know I have some letting go to do. So I guess I'm calling. Good morning, Yasmin. Just perhaps for some direction this coming up.
So, Donna, first of all, are you born in Somerville? Was that where you were born, in Somerville?
New Jersey, yes.
And is that one word?
Yes.
It's not coming up for me. What's
S-O-M-E-R.
Oh, S-O-M. S-O-M, S-O-double-M?
One M, S-O-M-E-R-V-I-L-L-E.
Got it. All right. So I have your chart here. So wow, you've got a big thing going on in your chart. Before we go on, Donna, so you're saying that all the work that you've done with COVID as a carer is actually starting to catch up. Is that what you're saying? That it's all the stress you've been through?
Oh yes, it caught up with me. I've been dragging it along with me.
Yeah.
It caught up with me. Now I'm at the point where I think it's almost a PTSD situation.
Yeah, I feel as though we have to really look after you guys. Here in England, we have something called an NHS, which is the National Health Service. And all the English people, we all make a fuss of the NHS, the health workers. And we really are grateful to them and we're trying to get them a pay rise and all this kind of thing. But I don't think that there's any substitute for actually dealing with all the stuff you've been through. Because what you've been through as a carer on the front line, whether you were caring for old people or sick people or whatever, it doesn't really matter. Anyone who's been caring for people at the time through this pandemic has been through SHIT. And, I feel like we really need to join together as a planet and try and do some healing for you guys because of what you've given. And now you need to be healed yourselves with everything that you've been through, because it's been rough for you guys. Like, you had to keep a stiff upper lip for a very long time, and that is not easy. So the first thing I would say to you, Donna, is it's really, really important now to do what the card says and detoxify. Let me read you. I didn't read all of it. Let me just read you a little bit more. So like each card has a little ritual, you might know that. So the ritual here is, funnily enough, is a ritual for cleansing. Okay, so do you own a diffuser or something to burn essential oils in?
Yes.
Great. So the oil, you need to get it. If you don't have it, just order it online. I ordered some online yesterday. It's very easy. Just go for a good brand, okay? Don't go for the cheap stuff. Go for something that's good and quality, because this is for you and it's going to help shift your body. So go for Ylang Ylang. You know that one? So it's Y-L-A-N-G, Y-L-A-N-G. So put some Ylang Ylang essential oil in your diffuser. And the goddess for you to call in is actually Hathor, who's the goddess of love and joy, among other things. And ask Hathor to empower you to clear away negativity and fill yourself up with self-love and love for others. So I think what you also need to do, if you don't mind me saying, is I think it would be a really good idea, Donna, if you have a think about all the people that you have helped in the pandemic in your work, and try and visualize them, even if they're filling a crowded room or whatever, and just see like a ribbon of love running through all of them to you, okay? A pink ribbon of very healthy, happy, revitalizing pink ribbon of love. And that includes all the families of the people you help, because in helping these people, you've helped the families as well. And you just need to kind of circulate the love a little bit, because, you know, you've given a lot. And your manifestation affirmation is, I express love and love comes back to me. And to me, that's really apt, because you've been expressing love for the human race by getting on and doing your job and looking after people. And now it's time for you to realize that that love is actually coming back to you. And I'm just going to say one more thing. Next time you're in a situation, this is for anybody who's listening, next time you're in a situation where you're helping someone, or you're even giving a healing, or even if you're just helping someone, you know, like you might be helping someone up the stairs or down the stairs, or, you know, doing whatever you do, try and see the healing energy that you are giving is coming from outside of you, from the heavens, in through your crown chakra on the top of your head, okay? So see healing violet light coming in through your crown chakra and filling you and coming out as healing. Because when you do that, instead of actually giving just from you, giving so you've got nothing left to give, you're actually channeling healing energy, and it comes through you, through all your body, through your hands, through your pores, through your eyes, through your mouth. It just comes out of you and it fills you up as well. So you give a healing and you get a healing. So try and do that as well, but really be aware that you need to look after yourself after everything you've been through. Someone on Facebook, Vanessa's saying, "Let's go, make me cry." Thank you, Donna, for your service. You are appreciated and loved. So, you know, like, everybody does appreciate what you guys have done. And, you know, many of us, especially here in England, we've just been, you know, hiding away in our homes while you guys have been doing stuff. And, you know, now it's time for you to start the healing. And you just know there's healing coming to you. So start to see that purple light coming in through your crown chakra, even just before you go to sleep, if you think of it, or in the morning. Fill yourself up and just and look up the goddess Hathor, Hathor. Okay, so she's around you and she can help you now as you start to heal yourself after all that you've given. Okay, but before we finish, Donna, I just want to tell you as well, looking at your chart, you actually have some really big astrology happening. You've got the planet of chaos, Uranus, going backwards over your sun, and then it's going to go forwards again. So what I'm going to say to you is, you know, your husband or your marriage might be more solid than you think. And this is a very erratic planetary transit that will only happen normally once in your lifetime, definitely only once in your adult life, depending on how long you live. And between now and April, you've got this really chaotic, slightly crazy energy in your chart. And what you have to be careful of is that you don't do anything rash. You know, Donna was born in early May. So anyone who was born in late April, early May, this applies to you. You just have to be careful you don't do anything crazy that you're going to regret later. You know, like declaring your marriage dead when maybe your marriage has just been through COVID as well and needs a bit of time to heal as well. Do you know, I'm not saying that you have to stay together, but I'm just saying don't do anything rash. All right?
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
How does that make you feel? You all right? I've just talked at you for 5 minutes, but...
Oh, no, I love it. It's very filling. Thank you. It's filling, and it explains a lot, the chaos. I wish it weren't lasting so long, but knowing that it's there, I can better tolerate things, I imagine.
And it's 4 more months, which is not that long when you've already been in it for about a year.
Oh, dear God.
So you are coming out the other side.
Oh, my goodness. Boy, that does explain things. Okay. Oh, Yasmin, thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Make sure you look up Goddess Hathor.
I will immediately. I'm so grateful for you.
And
thank you.
Print out a picture and put it on your altar or your windowsill or whatever.
Okay, love.
All right, lots of love.
Thank you so much.
Okay, all right. So let's talk a little bit about the astrology of this week. Let me just pull it up on my computer. So where are we? 6th of December. So today is a really powerful day. We had the Mars Pluto sextile. So hopefully you're feeling kind of energized and not too aggravated, because there is quite a lot of aggravation in that. Even though it's a harmonious connection, there's still, Mars is the planet of fire. Pluto is the volcanic planet that erupts, although it does actually get involved in detoxes as well. So it's actually quite a good day for that detox. And let's talk about the detox for a second. What are you going to detox? If you were going to detox something this week, what would you detox? Would you detox your diet? Would you detox your home? Can you detox your emotions? What do you do to detox your emotions? I've just been watching that show. I'm sure I'm the last person to watch it. It's been around for ages. It's called the Santa Clarita Diet. Have you seen that on TV? The Santa Clarita Diet. And I was, the really funny, it was actually came out when we were last in Los Angeles, because there were billboards for it everywhere. But I've never watched it until now, and it's really good. It's got Drew Barrymore in it and a really lovely guy whose name I don't know. And one of the things that's really striking about this couple on this show is that they're so nice. Like, even though they're going through this terrible experience, this terrible time with this thing that's happening to the wife, I won't tell you in case you haven't watched it. But, basically I don't want to spoil it, but you kind of find out in the first episode, she's kind of turning into a little bit of a zombie. It's a bit strange. And there's all sorts of weird things happening as a result of it. And I haven't really spoiled it. It happens in about the first 20 minutes of the show, okay? So you kind of have a little bit of an idea of what's going on. And what's so funny in this show is that they're dealing with all this terrible stuff, like all sorts. I don't want to give too much away. Murder and eating, human cannibalism, stuff like that. And yet these two remain so lovely and pleasant to each other. And I feel like they're almost a really good example of how to detox, remembering the card we got, how to detox a relationship, because even though they're going through all this stress and all this strain, if you haven't seen it, watch it and make a note of this. They talk to each other so nicely. And, I know when we were in the thick of our woes with the builder next door, who seems to be back, yay! It's all on track again, I think. My husband and I would argue a lot because we would see things differently. And he was, for example, trying to appeal to the guy's better nature, and I was like, he doesn't have a better nature, and all this kind of stuff. I probably shouldn't say that, but not seeing things the same way. And so relationships can get in need of detoxification, and again, especially because of the pandemic. People have been on top of each other. They haven't had any freedom Or contrary-wise, you may have just, if you're not partnered up, you might have been alone and alone with all your thoughts. It really is an important time to just let it all go, you know. And if you know there's something in your life which is toxic, you know, maybe you developed a drinking habit in lockdown. I know a lot of people did, actually. We didn't. I was very happy. I'm not really that much into drinking, and my husband's French and likes a glass of red wine. I was a bit like, oh my God, I'm hearing about all these people drinking in the day. We didn't do that, thank goodness. But, you know, people did because they needed to cope and it was difficult, whatever. Or maybe what I did was I didn't do enough exercise because I got so paranoid. And I know that all the people who don't believe in the pandemic will think I'm an idiot, but I'm sorry, I am sometimes. I got so paranoid. At one point, I didn't leave the house for a month. I was just like, no, I don't want to go out. And, you know, I just basically did laps of the courtyard garden, which wasn't enough. And I have to say, I did eventually get COVID and it was awful and I nearly went to hospital. So maybe I knew on some level that I wasn't going to fare very well if I got it. But, you know, we've got all that detoxification to do. So we can talk more about it after the break. But while we go to this break, I want you to think about what in your life can you look at detoxing. Okay, let's make detoxing the message of the day. I'll be back after the break.
Okay, we're back.
Thank you, Louis. So what's this? Somebody's saying they developed a smoking habit, I think, in lockdown. That's bloody annoying. Oh, smoking, yuck. I used to smoke back in the day. Gosh. The hardest thing about smoking is it's so hard to give up. And once you quit, you have to stay quit. All right, who'd like a card? I'm going to do a little reading for someone. Who'd like a card? Oh, it's really annoying. I'm just too far away to read it properly. I'm going to have to, but the glasses don't really help because it's too far away. It's not really... Oh, here I am. Hello. Who wants to come on? Is anyone requesting to come on? Let me see if anybody wants to come on. Laurie Braithwaite. Laurie wants to come on. Hello, Laurie. Put your money where your mouth is. She said she wants to come on. Now I've sent her an invitation. Let's see if she's still on or she's still wants to come on. Oh, excuse me. Nope, I think she must have. I think people sometimes say they want to come on and then they have to race off and do something. All right, LG Tracy, this card is for you. LG Tracy, I'm using my OG Moonology cards. LG Tracy, do you know your question? Because here comes your answer. And you know, what you can do is, if you're watching, you can say, this card's for me too. Careful though, I did that once. I didn't like the card at all. So I'm just trying to get comfortable here. All right, LG Tracy. Oh, okay. So LG Tracy, whatever is going on in your life, look at the bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture. Hang on a second. Full moon in Sag. So LG Tracy and anyone else who said this card is for me, are you thinking too much about the details of your current dilemma? Are you fretting over the minutiae? It can be very counterproductive, or perhaps you're being all talk and no action. This card is a reminder that while it's good to think things through, sometimes you need to step back and look at the bigger picture. What do you see then about your current situation? What's the most positive thought you can have about it? Now is the time to count your blessings, even if you don't exactly have what you want yet. This card is also a reminder that we often have to take a few risks and go with uncertainty on this journey called life. Sorry, LG, I know you probably didn't want to hear that, did you? Try and keep an open mind about what's for the best. The universe could surprise you. Be confident without being overconfident, and find a balance between saying too much, speaking your mind, and saying too much. I think we're about to go back in 30 seconds. Also, have you shown someone that you care? If not, now is the time. So there we go. There we go. Right, we're going to go back on air in about 15 seconds. So
Comment.
here we go.
816-251-3555. That's 816-251-3555.
Oh, we've got loads of people on the line.
Find out what's happening in the skies. Welcome back to Astrology with Yasmin.
Hello, hello, it's Yasmin. We are back. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the astrology of the week ahead, and then I'm going to take another call. So looking ahead, tomorrow we actually have a kind of annoying astrological aspect, and it's Mercury clashing with Neptune. Now, Mercury is the planet of the mind and of what we speak, listening, speaking, communicating, thinking, reading, books, talking, all that stuff. And Neptune is the planet of the divine. And when Mercury and Neptune are harmoniously aligned, that's a beautiful thing. That's a really beautiful thing. Why? Because it can mean it's easier to think about the divine, to connect with the divine, to read about the divine, to be filled with inspiration, to speak inspirationally and all that. However, when they are clashing, which is what they're doing tomorrow, that's when we sometimes get a rather hazy, confused, potentially slightly deceptive vibe. So you really have to be careful, okay? You really have to be careful. I don't know, I'm just addicted to doing cards today. I'm going to do a card for the best way for any of us who are watching. There's a reason why you're watching. The best way to handle the Mercury-Neptune square tomorrow. What have we... That's so funny. The card we got is talk less, feel more. And that is just the best advice, because actually the less you talk, the less confusion there's going to be, for one thing. And for another, Neptune, you know, trying to be logical when Mercury is clashing with Neptune, it's not even going to be possible. So yeah, if you're feeling a little bit out of sorts tomorrow, talk less and feel more. And there's crystal advice. So if you like to work with crystals, purple fluorite, labradorite, I've got some of that, labradorite, sodalite, amethyst, I've got a great big chunk of that as a present yesterday, it's beautiful, desert rose selenite or celestite. And you can just put a piece in your bra, or you can meditate with it, or you can, there's instructions about how to tune in. If you don't have my new cards, they're amazing. I love them. The Moonology manifestation cards. And there's a little ceremony, a little ritual you can do no matter what's coming up. So there's that. Then we're actually going to get Mars clashing with Jupiter on Wednesday. So there's going to be a lot of energy in the air. There's going to be a lot of people going a little bit like too far. Watch out if you're in a tense situation. Detoxify, talk less, feel more, because yeah, Wednesday is going to be a little bit uptight. And Mars is the planet of anger, and the planet that isn't afraid to sort of, you know, just get in there and do what has to be done and say what has to be said, and generally just, you know, is a bit brash and very, very determined. And Jupiter is the planet of optimism and ebullience and, you know, which always makes people happy and smiling and Father Christmas and all that. But it's the planet of exaggeration. So when you get Mars clashing with Jupiter, you can get the energies of Mars, the angry, determined, testosterone-driven, argumentative energies. I need to pay attention because I can be a bit like that sometimes, a bit argumentative. Yeah, you need to watch out because it can be really exaggerated. So it could be exaggerated midweek. Talk less, feel more, detoxify. The cards have actually given us all the advice we need, haven't they? And then, oh, actually, you know what? There's one really good thing that's happening here. So let me just look here. December 10, Friday night, December 10. Make it a date night if you can. Make it a date night if you can. Because there's a Venus-Pluto alignment coming up on Saturday. Yeah. But you want to get it before it peaks. It will be peaking on Saturday. So get it on Friday night. If you can have a date night, go and have your date night on Friday night. I'm just thinking, my plans for the weekend are changing in my head as we speak. I'm going to go and have a nice date night with my beloved husband Friday night, because there's this lovely Venus-Pluto connection. Just watch out if you're being a bit obsessive with someone, about someone, because you might be even more obsessive than usual. And then Mercury is going to harmonize with Jupiter, and then we've got one more bit of Saturn weirdness. So the end of the week is a bit comme-ci, comme-ça. On the one hand, a lot of the mental confusion might clear. If you said something disappointing, someone was disappointing, you were disappointing to someone, they disappointed you, that could fix itself up. But there is room for just a little bit more upset. Now, because we've just had the full moon eclipse and we're in the waxing cycle, I do want to, before I go to the phones again, I do want to address the situation of manifesting. And what are you manifesting? Did you make your new moon wishes? Did you do an affirmation with me at some point? It's really important to know that, it's not just about the new moon wishes that you make on the spot. It's very much about what you do the rest of the time as well. And we are in the eclipse new moon, super new moon, waxing cycle. So the moon is getting bigger and bigger and bigger as we move towards the full moon. And, it's really the time to be thinking, am I actually doing what I said I wanted to do, what I wanted to create in my life? If you have a look at your wishes list, if you didn't burn it, have a look and think, am I doing what it takes to manifest? Like, have I done that one thing that I promised myself I would do this week towards making my dreams come true? It's really, really important. So what do you want to draw into your life in 2022? And how are you going with that? Are you getting clear about what you want to draw into your life in 2022? Have you even made a list? Have you thought about it? What do you want? The more clarity you have, the better. Although that said, it's not the easiest week to get clarity because there is all this weird Neptune astrology around. Let's go to the phones and let's speak to Cheyenne, who is on line 4. Hello, Cheyenne. Is that how I say your name?
Actually, it's Charlotte. Cheyenne's my daughter.
Oh, it's your name's Charlotte.
Yes, I'm Charlotte.
Oh, and that,
Cheyenne's my daughter.
I wonder why they wrote down Cheyenne.
Probably because I'm using her phone.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just doing your chart anyway, Charlotte. Where are you?
Pennsylvania.
Right. Are you in Reading?
Yes. Well, actually, Shirlington, just like 5 minutes outside Reading.
How do you spell Reading?
Reading.
Okay. All right. So, Miss Charlotte, have you had your chart done before?
Yes, ma'am, because I'm in your certification class.
So you can, in fact, you can read your own chart.
Yes.
Well done. Well done, Charlotte. Okay, but just for everyone else to know, Charlotte's a Gemini with Pisces rising and a Taurus moon, a lovely Taurus moon. So what would you like to know about today, Charlotte?
Actually, I was just going to say, studying your classes and stuff, it's like really intriguing to learn about the planets and, getting to learn about the sun and the moon, especially using the new Moonology cards, which I just got. They're beautiful.
They're so beautiful, aren't they? I'm blown away by them.
they're beautiful. But my question, I have to, honestly, I'm going to say it. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I have a couple teeth that are getting bad. Imagine that, Irish, bad teeth. But it's like, should I go to a regular dentist? You know what I mean? It's like, what do the cards are saying? Should I or shouldn't I go get these teeth done at a dentistry school or go to a regular dentist? I mean, I use my pendulum and it's telling me just to like chill and go to a regular dentist.
And
I don't trust the dentistry school.
what would a dentistry school offer you? Oh, you've got a funny card. What would the dentistry school offer you that the regular...
Come up 5, 6 different times, to get this done, get that done. But every time I have to go, they want me to do another COVID test. I've had everything. I'm going for the booster on the 10th. So it's funny that you said the 10th. That's also my deceased brother's birthday. But I'm just like, seriously, you want me to keep getting tested? That costs like tons of money.
Oh, you have to pay.
I'll have to, well, they were telling me, I mean, I don't mind getting another COVID test done, but I'm going to have to get it done like 5 different times. That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. Also, I think we get ours free here in the UK. I think we can just walk in and pick one up from the
Well, it
chemist.
is free, but I mean, I think the doctor's going to get a little irritated every couple months. They have to keep doing a COVID test just to go to a dentist.
No, we can just walk into a chemist, a pharmacy here in the UK. Don't have to go to the doctor. But anyway, look, the card you got is kind of funny, Charlotte. I'm not sure what you're going to think of it. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready for a funny card?
Well, I'm a Gemini. We're all, how we are.
Because you know how you're like worrying, should I go and get my teeth out? Should I go to the dentist school? Should I go to the regular dentist? What should I do? And the answer is... relax. Stop worrying about it. It's chill. It's going to be fine. I mean, basically, Charlotte, the thing is when you get all wound up about something like that, and it is easy to get wound up, especially now with the eclipse energy that's around, everyone's quite wound up. But really, you get much better access to your intuition if you can just relax and chill out.
That's me. Chill. I need to chill. That's what I thought. I'm like, just go to a regular dentist and just get it done. I do have insurance. I don't know what I'm worried about.
Oh, right. That's good. Yeah. No, it's definitely don't let this bother you. There's so much going on in life right now. I think we've all just gone a bit crazy. I know I have. Like, honestly, sometimes I've acted really crazy in the last month or two. I just think we've all just gone crazy. We've all been pushed to our limit by everything that's been going on. And, we need to relax.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I've been doing your classes. I've been trying to get on it every day and do
Good
get
on you.
into the different, I think I'm on lesson 4 now.
Right.
When I saw you came on live, I'm like, oh, quick, don't worry about lesson 4 because I can go back to that, no problem.
True.
But I finally got it with the sun and the moon. It took me a bit. And then I thought of those songs, In the House of the Rising Sun. I'm like,
Yes.
I got it.
Exactly.
And you mentioned the moon, the age of Aquarius, when the moon is in the 7th house. Yeah,
Yes.
I got it.
Good. Yeah, so basically, just chill. That's your message from the universe.
That's cool. I love that card. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm just going to mellow out.
Go and mellow out. Yes, indeed. All right. Thank you, Charlotte, for calling in. That's lovely.
Thank you, beautiful. You have a great day.
Oh, you have a great day. Thank you. All right. There's so many people on the line. I think I'm going to take another call so I can sort of slightly start to get through them. Let's go to Kat on line 3. Are you there, Kat?
Hello.
Hi, Kat. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Where are you?
I am in Oregon.
Oh, what's it like there?
It is dreary. There is no sun today, and it's raining cats and dogs.
And you were born in California.
Yes, I was.
So how did you end up in dreary old, where did you say you are, Oregon?
Yes.
How did you end up in dreary old Oregon? No, I don't know if Oregon's dreary, but you're saying it is.
It is today, but usually, we have such beautiful greenery, and we do have sunny days. It's just, and we've actually just come off of a really nice week of higher 60-degree weather. So
Right.
we're getting into winter finally.
Oh, right. Yes, it is winter, isn't it? Let's face it. All right. So, Miss Cat, what would you like to know about today? I've got your chart here. What would you like to know about? Do you know your chart? Have you had your chart done?
I have quite a while ago with you, Yasmin.
Ah. So you're a moon child with Aquarius rising and a Scorpio moon.
Yes, and so the eclipse that we just had, I also just received your cards on the day of the new moon eclipse, and the card I pulled was the new moon eclipse card.
Wow.
Very first card I ever pulled out of the deck. It was awesome.
There you go. Well, it was a very important eclipse, new moon eclipse for you, because, so I'm just checking, let me just check one thing. I'm just trying to see if we are still in the, sorry, yeah, we're still in the new moon phase. Okay, we're just still in the new moon phase. It was a really important new moon for you because we just had a new moon eclipse. You had it in your 11th house because you're Aquarius rising. So have you made your new moon wishes?
Yes, and I've been actually fine-tuning them over the last couple of days.
Great. So what are you doing to fine-tune them?
I'm meditating and listening to your meditations.
Oh, brilliant.
And actually, I'm just starting your Moonology course as well.
Oh, wow. Okay, fantastic. Okay, that's great. So make sure you stay very tuned in to your wishes, your intentions, your desires, your aims, your commitments you're making to yourself, because this was a really powerful new moon for you because it was in your 11th house, which is wishing, your wishing zone. And so you want to kind of stay with it now as we move towards the full moon. We're nowhere near it yet, but we will get there eventually. So stick with it.
And what should I concentrate on? Is there anything specific I should be concentrating on?
Right now?
Yes.
Well, I mean, in the short term, you should be focusing on your new moon wishes because you've had the new moon eclipse in your 11th house. It's also a good time to be focusing on your social life. So if you haven't seen enough of your friends because of the pandemic and all that, it's a really good time to be doing that. What's actually coming up for you, and it's quite important, is you're about to have Saturn going over your ascendant in the not too distant future. And that can be quite a taxing time. And it can make you feel really old and just can be like, a bit of a drag. But because you're doing my course, that's actually brilliant because Saturn's about learning and teaching as much as it is about anything else. It's about, wisdom. And you're getting wisdom by learning about moonology and astrology and all that. So I would say, particularly over the next, between now and the end of January, really focus on learning and also teaching. If you do any teaching of any description, focus on that as well, because that will help you work out the Saturn over your ascendant energies, which otherwise can be quite difficult and quite challenging.
Okay. And I'm an energy healer as well and do a lot of EFT and pranic healing.
Oh, okay. Right. I mean, what I was thinking at the start of this show today when I was speaking to, gosh, now I can't remember who it was. Who was the first person on the line? Was it Donna? Might have been Donna. We were talking about was a carer, and she sort of worked as a carer all the way through the pandemic. And I was saying about how we all owe those people a debt of gratitude, and we need to, you know, help them deal with everything they've been through. And I was thinking, I don't think I know of a better way of dealing with stuff than with EFT, with tapping, you know. So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, maybe we should be asking all the people who know how to do EFT to reach out to all the people who work in health to help them start to get themselves back together. I mean, if you're a healer, you know, like, try and do some paid work and some charity work as well now, if you can.
Absolutely. And do you see anything about my health in my chart that I should be aware of?
Yes, you've got Uranus in your 4th house, so you've got the chaos planet in your home zone. Why? What's going on? Chaos?
Well, I just, you know, it's been a long COVID time, and I have got the extra 20 pounds that is stubbornly sticking around, and I'm just wondering how all of this is impacting my health, possibly in a negative way.
Right. Well, I will say one of the best ways, one of the times when you lose weight the most is when you have Saturn going over your ascendant, which you've got between now and January. So to put it another way, Kat, if you can't lose weight now, you never be able to. So you have to really think, okay, I've got Saturn on my side actually for about 2 years. Okay, you've got 2 years to shift those pounds and get in shape. And also lots of strength building exercises when Saturn's active. Because you're Aquarius rising, really good time to be doing weights or anything that's going to lift your strength. All right, should I give you a card for your getting back into shape question?
Yeah.
All right,
okay.
Here we go. What does she need to do to, oh, there's your card, to get back into shape? Oh no, it's the same card as before. Talk less, feel more. All right, so let me just read it to you. Last quarter moon in Pisces. I didn't read it before, actually. Where are we? Last quarter moon in Pisces. Okay, so this is for your getting back into shape, okay?
Yes.
Funnily enough, listen to this, Kat. So the danger in your current situation is that you're going to be really good at starting things and less good at finishing them. So, you know, apply that to healthy eating and exercise. This card suggests that you need to talk less and feel more. So rather than telling people about what you want now, feel your feelings about what you want. So feel how you really feel about the 20 pounds you've gained. What comes up? Do you believe in yourself or not? Perhaps you started strong, but you're running out of steam. If so, go within and ask yourself, how committed are you to your goals? Remember, it's okay to change your mind. And do you ever work with crystals, Kat?
Absolutely.
All right, so the crystals you need are purple fluorite, labradorite, sodalite, amethyst, desert rose selenite, and or celestite. So do you know how to make a crystal grid?
I do.
Make a crystal grid for weight loss or getting in shape, and keep that sort of burning, keep that going. And you've got an affirmation as well, which is, I feel all my feelings and it feels good. And that's a really important one for weight loss, because I think one of the reasons, I mean, people think they put on weight in the pandemic because they just sat at home and the fridge was there. And there is a bit of that. But there's also the fact that people ate their feelings, and we all had a lot of feelings to deal with. You know, it has been a really scary time, and please God, this Omicron is going to save us all.
Yes. 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 Peanut butter cookies were my downfall.
Wow. And did you make them yourself, or?
Oh, I made them myself. Yes, I made quite a few of them.
All right. Can you send me the recipe, please?
Absolutely.
Yasmin at yasminboland.com will get to me.
Sounds great.
All right. Well, good luck, Kat. Feel all your feelings. That will help you. That will help you with the weight loss.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you, gorgeous. Send me the recipe, please. Lots of love. Oh, cool. I'm going to get a recipe for peanut butter cookies. Might not be the best thing for my waistline. So I just want to say, you know, so it's now the 6th of December. So next week we are going to have, at the very end of it, we're going to have the full moon in Gemini. And that's actually going to be interesting because what it's going to do is it's going to take us out of eclipse season. So what I want you to remember, we're not going to go too far into that. What I want you to remember is that right now we are still in the eclipse season. We're really in the eclipse season until the first new moon or full moon that's not in the eclipse, that's not an eclipse. And that won't take place until the end of next week. So this week, think about what you want to manifest. Are you doing what you said you were going to do? Have you been doing what you promised yourself? And start to really try just that little bit harder to make your dreams come true. Basically, back yourself. You know, there's no point in just, my favorite new expression is, you can't just light an abundance candle and expect cash to come flowing through the ceiling. You know, you can light the abundance candle, you can do a meditation about abundance, but then also think about how practically am I actually going to make this abundance. Wishing to win the lottery doesn't really help, because on some level, you know, the chances are slim as slim. I think we have to go now, so I'll see you next week.
All right, good job.
Thank you, Louis. See you later.
All right, we'll talk to you next week.
You too. Bye. All right, so there we go, guys. Lots of cards, lots of stars. Oh, that's it from me.